Welcome to the Confident Retirement Podcast. Is doing the most important things alone a good idea? How comfy are you with your choices when it comes to life's biggest decisions? What is real peace of mind with financial confidence, and how can you get it? Chris Fleming and Mark Peachy are the founders of LPF Advisors in Sarasota, Florida. On the show, they bring together the best and brightest minds to share with you how to have a more confident financial picture. They empower listeners with simple, common sense and financial wisdom. And now, here are your hosts from LPF Advisors.
So I want to welcome everybody to the Confident Retirement Podcast brought to you by LPF Advisors. I'm your host, Chris Fleming, and today I'm really excited about our guests. Have you ever thought about working, living, or retiring overseas? It seems like a pipe dream, but maybe it's not so far out there. Emily Braun is a Toronto-based international lifestyle consultant who has spent the last decade pursuing the best way to make overseas living possible. Her company specializes in aiding remote workers to find ideal destinations and helping clients discover the best places in the world to retire based on their unique circumstances. Emily, thanks for being here and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for giving me opportunity to meet you and speak with your followers and clients. I'm happy to share my information, and I know people would have questions about my business.
Well, I have so many questions, so we're gonna jump in. So I know that living, working, or retiring overseas has crossed everybody's mind at some point, right? Everyone thinks about that, but few people actually do it. So I'd like you to take us through your story of what led you to opening up your business, helping people realize that dream.
So actually you outlined correctly maybe the main difference between me and many other people. I am dreamer, but I'm also doer. So I've had this dream for years. And speaking about my particular life and life experience, I was born in former Soviet Union, in what is now independent Republic of Moldova. I lived for years in what is now independent Republic of Ukraine, traveled a lot in former Soviet countries, like former now, lived for years in Israel, and my second immigration for 24 years, I'm living in Canada. And at the same time, I'm an avid traveler, and I traveled in more than 40 countries in the world, during my lifespan. And I know exactly what is the difference between immigration, travel, and even digital nomad style. It's not for everyone, and I don't want to go to details right now. Living for years and having home in Canada and children, my family here, a couple of years ago, I realized that unfortunately, probably it will be not my last station, but I didn't take it, hard because of, cost of living. And I realized that even with my hard work, and I was working as IT consultant for years in Toronto, and actually changed several professions, starting from engineering and other fields before, I realized that with cost of living rising and other circumstances, I probably could not retire, as I wish in Canada. And on advices to me to go up north a couple of 100 kilometers, I thought, no, I better would go south. And I started my exploration, which I actually had before. In my first experience, probably as many of listeners, it's Costa Rica, but I traveled in Panama, in Mexico, in other countries. I knew a lot of Europe, like I'm as Eastern European. I've had more knowledge at this point about European countries, but I was starting to discover what Latin America can offer me, and after then us, because I realized many people might find themselves in the same situation. And what I started to do actually to connect with local expat communities. So point of my interest are expat communities, and I started to collect information about life overseas in regards to retirees, baby boomers, actually, it was, and it's still my first target group. Actually, small secret, I belong to this group and like last wave, and I fully understand and share probably the same concerns baby boomers in United States and Canada have at this point or might have soon. And several years ago, I opened, just as a side project, my travel company, my boutique Small Travel Passion. It was the name. And the first two business direction I started to develop, it's medical tourism, but it's again the same countries, Mexico, Panama, Nicaragua. And I launched program looking for retirement places with my business partner in Mexico. So we created like 2 tours I created for Riviera Maya and for central Mexican states from the cultural perspective to provide people information about what country is Mexico, because I felt it's under evaluated, you know, with all the media. So like from lifestyle perspective, what kind of people are living, culture, you know, the information that probably majority of people could not find in the internet. So after some time, I decided that Mexico, it's not enough for me. And because I understood that different people have different preferences, different budget, different desires. For example, Europeans, like in my Toronto communities, Eastern Europeans, immigrants prefer Europe. So other people would prefer Americas, Latin America. I cannot cover all the world just to, you know, there is a question sometimes about Asia, and I know how several wonderful places can be found and exist in Asia, but so far I'm covering Europe and Latin America.
Well, you're only one person.
Yes,
right?
At this time, with my connections in countries, and by the way, I have website, emilybraun.com, and destination tab on this website actually listing the countries I'm working with. Obviously, there's many countries where people might find the home, but in these particular countries, first of all, I have information, resources, and I have local connections, community connections, like real estate developers, immigrant lawyers, or expat who might help people when they decided and landed in particular destination.
So what do you think is the biggest misconception people have about working or living remotely, like, you know, overseas or in retirement? What's a big misconception that people have?
First of all, you know, I would divide remote workers from retirees, which somehow can be overlapped. So remote worker, like direction, I actually added last year when I converted my business being from travel to actually international lifestyle consulting, when I realized that additional category of people, and usually the younger than baby boomers, like 55 plus, but, you know, might cover the same group age. People found after a year working remotely from home that they can do, you know, the same work, enjoying their life in the South, like in Mexico and other countries, Belize, Panama, Portugal. So this trend existed before for digital nomads who were kind of entertaining this lifestyle for years. But now why I derive remote workers, because usually it's a family-oriented people, you know, people who just recently found the new condition and opportunities to work from different places. And it might happen part-time. You know, I'm not speaking about relocation only or immigration. Today, we are not immigrating. We're relocating full-time or part-time. And different group have different, you know, priorities in life. That's why I clearly understand that for retirees, the most important questions probably would be health system, you know, healthcare and the destination. Even now, everyone understands how it's important, you know, after a year of COVID. But, you know, for aging groups, it became first priority, like how close it's to home, logistic, community living, by the way, important for both groups, but in different setting. But what I found, for example, in Mexico, it's very interesting for me was to actually find out that the same places These digital nomad hubs are good for retirees, like Riviera Maya, like Playa del Carmen, for example. It's a world-known hub for digital nomads. But at the same time, there is a lot of retirees who selected this city and this region, for living. The same, I would say, maybe in less respect to digital nomad Puerto Vallarta or central Mexican state. But every place, state, Mexican state in this case, has some specifics, cost of living, medical health condition, what kind of people. I'm speaking about expats and local people living there, like, more or less industrial, mountain. It depends what person prefer to see, in the morning. It might be a mountain view, for example, for me, or seashore for other people. I'm taking in consideration, many factors which really provide people a sense of comfort and lifestyle they desire.
So are there some common fears or concerns that people have when they work with you about the relocation process or, moving to another country permanently in retirement? Is there some, some common things they're afraid of or want you to ease their mind about?
Obviously, that's why actually I opened my business, because I understood and I realized after communicating with a number of people, and I was participating in several international conferences in this topic, people considering this move, but sometimes they don't have, travel experience. And it's not only travel experience, immigration experience. And it's, all what I was trying to resolve on my own, being, young and after then part of the family and now kind of almost empty nester. So I understand these concerns, but I think the biggest concerns American and Canadians have at this time, they might overlive their spending, their retirement saving, because it was proven that after economical meltdown in 2008, some people, small business owners and even people who were considering they having enough retirement funds, found out that they evaporated, they melted out. Some people, found that they cannot subsidize their living for the future, and actually to age with dignity. You might remember recently Nomadland movies actually kind of touch this topic. And I believe, I know that after, this COVID time, will subside, we will have more statistics, and it's reality. People who lost their small businesses, middle class, actually suffered it most. So what I'm proposing as a solution, how people can stretch their dollars, their saving, at the same time not decrease, lifestyle, and maybe even get luxury on, paycheck, social security checks they might receive in the United States. And we know about cost of health expenses rising, actually the same coming to Canada. But what I'm offering actually to alleviate the stresses and fears, what I'm saying, let's work together and prepare a plan, step-by-step plan. It's what I'm offering to people, and it's where I am here and actually offering my services. So there is some initial consultation, and people can find questionnaire on my website on consultation page, Know Yourself questionnaire, like financial advisors and other specialists are offering. But here it's actually detailed questionnaire from different lifestyle aspects. And I'm asking people to fill it together with their partners, like family members, if they're planning it together. Because at this level, it's better to clarify some differences and to understand and have actually, common vision and plans, what might be the better condition. And I do it, by budget, taking in account a specific family condition, health condition, and many other factors which are people actually identifying in a form. So they come to me and we're starting to work together, kind of have a feeling already, what country might work for them, or maybe they have already idea. I've had cases when people were asking me about, say, Ecuador, and I was asking, okay, why Ecuador? And I found out only because, their friend or somebody they know actually retired in Ecuador. But during the conversation, I found that actually Portugal might work better for this person and situation, And it's just discovery. And when person understand and kind of mentally ready, we're working step by step, and here it's professional work as well, because people should consider their tax situation, to speak with their financial advisor, and I'm giving along the road different advices.